Hello students, until the last lecture we were discussing about the preliminaries of probability, which is in your 11th class syllabus. From now we will discuss we'll read about the probabilities which are in the probability and its concepts according to our 12th class syllabus. Yes, here we will first find the conditional probability. We will discuss the conditional probability. Conditional probability. Right. Conditional probability. What is a conditional probability? So that means what is the probability of occurrence of one event under the condition that some other event has already occurred. This will be clear if we will take an example. Yes, let us take an example of tossing of 3 coins. Yes, let us consider consider the tossing of 3 coins, right? If you will toss 3 coins, you see, if you will toss 1 coin, the possible outcomes are head and tail. Either head will fall or tail will fall. These are the only possibilities. If you will toss 2 coins, what are the possible outcomes? That means both the coins may be fall, heads will fall in both the coins, or in the first coin it is head, second coin it is tail, or in the first coin tail, second, like this. And both the coins may have tail, right? If you will throw 3 coins, then the possible outcomes, then the sample space will be like this. Here the sample space S is equal to all the coins. So head. First coin head occurs, second coin head occurs, third coin head will occur, right? These are the cases. Or you may have 2 heads and 1 tail. Yes, 2 heads can be occurred in this way: head, tail, head, tail, head, or tail, head, head. In this way, 2 heads and 1 tail will occur. Or 2 tails, 1 head may occur. In 3 out of 3 coins, 2 coins show tail and 1 coin shows head. So this will happen in this way. Suppose head, tail, or tail, head, tail, or tail, head. Or 3 coins may show tail, that is tail. You see the cardinality of the sample space here. is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Cardinality of our sample space is 8. If we will take in another way, we can find the cardinality. Suppose without tabulating the outcomes, we can determine a coin can be tossed in two different ways. A coin shows either head or tail. That means one coin can be tossed in two different ways. 3 coins can be tossed in how many different ways? 2 into 2 into 2, using fundamental principle of counting. That means it is 8. 2 into 2 into 2, 8. So 8 is the cardinality of the sample space. Number of elements in the sample space is 8. Now let us consider an event. Let E be the event. What is that? 2 heads occur. So, 2 heads occur. Out of 3, 2 heads will occur. So what will be E? E will be, yes, 2 heads, at least 2 heads. At least 2 heads occur. That means at least 2 head means head or head tail or head tail or tail head. These are the 4 cases. Any other? No. If you will take 2 tails, then this is not the case. This is not in this event. Right? This event says that at least 2 heads. So, yes, that is cardinality of, so, cardinality of E is 4. Let F be the event that the first coin shows tail. First coin shows tail. Right? Then what is F? F will be, yes, the first coin must be tail, head, or tail, head, or tail, head, tail, or tail. Yes, this is our F. Suppose let S. S is equal to head, tail, head, right? And head, tail, head, tail, head, tail. Right. So these are the cases. Here cardinality of F. Cardinality of F is also, it is 4. It is 4. Now what is E intersection F? Let us calculate. E intersection F. Yes. What are the common elements? Head. No, it is not there. Head, tail, it is also not there because the first coin shows head. This is not there. This is there. First coin is tail, head. So this is tail, head. This is E intersection F. Right. So suppose it is asked, what is the probability of getting two heads when the first coin already tail occurs, when tail has already occurred, in the first coin. But when the first coin shows tail, first coin shows tail. That means you know that the first coin, your condition, the first coin should be tail and you should have two heads. Simply if you say that it has two heads, then the problem is something different. Two heads means these are the cases, three cases. Right? Yes, it has two heads. The probability of getting at least two heads, no problem, at least two heads when the first coin shows tail. So when the first coin shows tail, these cases will never happen. Only this case. Only this case. And for this, you see your sample space. First coin shows tail. No. Yes, this one, this one, this one, this one. That means here this sample space, because we are confirmed, the first coin should show tail. So these cases will never arise. So here the sample space will be restricted to what? The tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, or tail. You see, tail, head, tail, head. This is nothing but your F. This is your F, right? So your sample space is now restricted to F. Now what is the number of outcomes favorable to your event? What is our event? At least two heads, but the first coin shows tail. Yes, first coin. This is called E condition F, right? Here probability of E condition F, right? Probability that E condition that F occurred is equal to kete means 1 by 4. It is 1 by 4. Yes, it is 1 by 4. Right? So this is the conditional probability. Actually, it is what you see. It is, we can say that here It is probability, yes, cardinality of E intersection F by cardinality of F. Right? So, thus, the conditional probability that probability of an event that F has already occurred is probability of E condition F, which is equal to cardinality of E intersection F by cardinality. Cardinality means you are writing N. Cardinality of E intersection F by cardinality of F, provided cardinality of F is non-zero, right? It should not be zero, right? So this is called the conditional probability. Conditional probability. What is the probability that E will occur under the condition that F has already occurred? Under the condition that F has occurred. You know that F has occurred. So the conditional, thus, yes, we can write directly conditional probability directly now. You see, yes, F has already occurred. In that case, the number of cases favorable to E is E intersection F. The cases, the outcomes which are present in F. Right? So we may define definition of conditional probability. Definition. Let E and F be any two events of a sample space S such that cardinality of F is not zero. Then conditional probability of E under the condition that F has occurred that is probability of E condition F is given by probability of E condition F is equal to cardinality of E intersection F by cardinality of F. Right? The number of elements favorable to E intersection F by number of elements favorable to F, and that is equal to, I can write cardinality of E intersection F division cardinality of S by cardinality of F division cardinality of S. So this is nothing but probability of E intersection F by probability of f, right? Provided probability of f is not 0. Yes, this is the conditional probability. This is the conditional probability. E condition f. It is simple. Probability that E will occur when f has already occurred is probability of E intersection f by probability of f. Right? So this is the definition of conditional probability. Let us discuss about some properties. The properties are very simple properties. Number one property. Number one, if f, E and f are events such that f is a subset of E, then probability of E condition f is equal to 1. In particular, probability of S sample space S condition f is 1 and probability of f condition f, this is also 1. This is number one property. Number two, probability of if A and B are any two events. If A and B are any two events, then probability of A union B condition that condition F is equal to probability of A condition F plus probability of B condition F minus probability of A intersection B condition F. If A and B are mutually exclusive, then probability of A union B condition F is equal to probability of A condition F plus probability of B condition F. Right? Then probability of number 3, probability of E complement condition F is equal to 1 minus probability of E condition F. These are the three properties of conditional probability. Yes, those who want to prove this, they are very simple. Let us try some of them. Yes. First one is, if E and F are two events such that F is a subset of proof. Yes, F is a subset of, given that F is a subset of E, then what will happen? Then E intersection F will be what? F. Right? So probability of E condition F, that is equal to probability of E intersection F by probability according to definition. This probability of F, this is equal to what? Probability of F. This is 1. So as F is a subset of F is a subset of F and F is also a subset of S also. Then as this we have probability of F condition F is equal to 1 and the probability of S condition F is also 1. So let us have one proof. Let us prove the second one. If A and B are any two events, then probability of A union B condition F, right? Now probability of A union B condition F will be what? Probability of A union B intersection F by probability of F according to definition. But what is this intersection? This probability of yes A union B intersection F. Yes, this is equal to probability of A intersection F union B intersection F by probability of F. And you see this union, this probability of this according to union addition law we have already proved. This is probability of A intersection F plus probability of B intersection F minus probability of A intersection F intersection B intersection F, right, by probability of F. This is equal to probability of A intersection F plus probability of B intersection F minus probability of A intersection B intersection F, right, by probability of F. That means this is probability of A intersection F by probability of F plus probability of B intersection F by probability of F minus probability of A intersection B intersection F by probability of F. Yes, according to definition of conditional probability, it is probability of A condition F plus probability of B condition F minus probability of A intersection B condition F. So it is proved, right? Now in particular, when A and B are mutually exclusive, automatically A intersection B will be null set. A intersection, yes, I can wipe out this part. Right? If A intersection B is null set, then probability, then the result follows. Probability of A union B condition F is equal to probability of A condition F plus probability of B condition F. This is the case because A intersection B is null set, right? Then the third one, this is very simple. Clearly E union E complement is equal to sample space, right? And this implies probability of the sample space condition F is equal to probability of E union E complement, right, condition F. This implies it is 1. It is probability of E condition F plus probability of E dash E complement condition F. Why? As E and E complement intersection is null. That means they are mutually exclusive, and this implies probability of E complement condition F is equal to 1 minus probability of E condition F. So the proofs are very simple. Yes. So these are the three properties, 1, 2, 3 of conditional probability. So thus we have read the conditional probability, definition of conditional probability, probability condition that E condition F is equal to probability of E intersection F by probability of F, and its properties are these three properties. It's very simple. Next time we will do some examples on conditional probability. Yes, we'll finish here today. Okay, thanks.